try it out. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. AJ.
Okay. All right.
There's no more question. Maybe we'll move to the next speaker.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us begin with the second session, the webinar with second speaker, Mr. Amizan Azim Ramli from the Center of Research in Language and Linguistics, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Mr. Amizan, our precious, he graduated from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia in Bachelor of Arts in English Language Studies. He's currently you're almost done with MPhil. Hopefully he'll continue his PhD in UKM, hopefully soon. His research interest is in corpus linguistics and also computational linguistics. He'll be sharing simple programming in Python, I believe, today to parse HTML from a commerce website and also extract product information, including titles, descriptions, and product reviews. And after that, he will apply NLP techniques to Malay language as well, yeah, Amizan?
Yes, Doctor.
All right, so without further ado, Amizan, we're so honored to have you here. So proud as well.
Okay. Okay, Doctor, that's a loss of compliments. Okay. All right. So I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Okay, all right. So thank you for the response. So I'm going to take some few seconds to share the slides. I have also slides just to run through about the basic fundamentals. Some of the information are quite might be redundant with Dr. AJ's, but I promise I'm going to skip some of the things that are redundant. Okay, so it's the right screen. Okay, so is anybody can see the slides? The slide is visible, right?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, because I have two monitors, so I have my slides right at the right side of me, and the Zoom, the camera is on the left side. So I think some of it might find disturbing if I didn't look directly into the camera and start presenting. Okay, just to first disclaimer first. All right. So my name is Amizan. I'm currently finishing my master's in philosophy in English language studies. So I'm currently ongoing a project in UKM, a research project. And one thing about a disclaimer about my presentation today, my sharing today, it's more like a sharing. I'm going to share a little bit how you can use basic HTML and Python programming to scrape data from the internet commerce. And also, if we have a little bit time, just before 5, I'm going to share a little bit how to use the NLP techniques just to quickly analyze the data. Okay, all right. Okay, one more disclaimer is that compared to Dr. AJ's, I have no basic. I'm not from engineering or even IT background. I'm mostly with you guys. We are also we are the same. I'm doing my first bachelor's degree in English language studies. So except that I have the luxury of time to learn a little bit of programming, and then it slowly evolved until something that something new. So I'm quite excited what I have been doing lately. So this is more or less a good experience because my experience will not be from the IT people. So I know what's the shortcomings, what the shortcut that you guys can take in order to make it more efficient to learn the Python more efficiently and fast. Okay, all right. Let's get started. Okay, so the presentation content for today is I'm going to explain what is word scraping. So Dr. AJ has been explaining to it earlier, and then the benefits. This is worth highlight, and then some of the scraping tools and understanding fundamentals of HTML. This is the core of my presentation today. And then I might skip the legal and ethical concern because Dr. AJ has explained it earlier, and also a case study. Okay, before that, I saw in the chat box that one of our audience has mentioned that we can use third-party software like Epify. Okay, I did use Epify before, but I didn't satisfy with the result because it's very limited. So that's why because the limitation of Epify, I forced myself to learn programming language. So before I learned Python programming, I actually use Epify. But since Epify is not deliver the things that I need, so I forcefully myself to learn the programming language. But you can still use Epify just to do some basic stuff like looking into information from the generic web page. But when it comes to scrape from social media, for example, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you cannot use Epify. If you can, it's a pay per use. So you need to pay, you have some tokens that you need to pay for you to use that. Okay. All right. So, okay. So blah, blah, blah. Web scraping is our automated extraction data from websites. So it's quite essential for collecting textual data from the vast resources available on the internet. So we can either access the data, whether it's a structure or in a unstructured data for analysis. So I will show this by the end of this presentation, okay? All right, so the benefits. Okay, automation. This is the most precious part of web scraping because in normal use case, you normally, I don't know, normally people just, if you building a corpus, building a specific corpus, for example, Twitter. So if you are not aware of the existing third-party software like Epify, or even you can use programming language, the conventional way, usually we simply copy and paste, right? We copy and paste into a notepad or Microsoft Word docs. And it's really time consuming and repetitive because when we are building corpus, we didn't normally we didn't only take 10 tweets, even 100 tweets. We usually look for thousands, hundreds, millions, sometimes billions. Okay, so because of that, it's time and cost efficient because it can save time. Because you can save, for example, if you do copy and paste, it might take you weeks, months, even years to complete the target. If you use a web scraping technique, it can take you days, 1 day, or even few hours. So that's how efficient it is. But the process behind it is going to be it's going to hurt a little bit because for us who doesn't have any basics programming in Python or even other programming languages, it's going to be difficult. But I'm sure there's a lot of programming forum in GitHub, in Stack Overflow, even in YouTube, TikTok can help you overcome it. Okay. Okay, some useful web scraping tools. So this is more like modules that I would like to highlight. I would like to emphasize. First is the Beautiful Soup. So it's ideal for parsing HTML and XML. So I'm going to explain it later, okay? Scrappy, and then Selenium, Request, Pandas, NumPy, and PyTest. But in this presentation, I would like to highlight the use of Beautiful Soup, Requests, and Pandas. So okay, first, Beautiful Soup it's ideal for parsing HTML and XML. Okay, just now, Dr. AJ mentioned about web crawling. We using Spider like a bot to crawl the data from the website. Sometimes, high-profile websites, they have basic high protocol security. So this protocol, sometimes they can block a really repetitive bot that can damage, that can serve as a threat to their websites. So usually it's not ideal to use a bot because it can your IP can be blocked by the website. You cannot access the website anymore. I have been through that before, so it's a very valuable experience. It's not worth to try it again. And then the use of Beautiful Soup is that we take the HTML of the website and then we ask the Python to read the HTML websites. I don't know if that makes sense, but we will explain earlier. And then Pandas. Okay, the Pandas is one thing about Python modules. They like to give names. They like to give weird names to their tools. So the name that we see here is like it's a vague kind of naming scheme. So Pandas is a Python library for data manipulation and analysis, make it easier to work with unstructured data like spreadsheet. So for example, For example, Dr. AJ just now he displayed how to extract data from the UPM websites, right? The news article. So what pandas do is it can make the data structure. Like using pandas, we can transfer the data into Excel. So in the end of the day, if you have like 100 of automation, 100 article that you want to extract, the pandas will help you to organize, to rearrange the data according to your objective. Okay. All right, so these are other web scraping tools when we are using API. So the previous one, normally we didn't use any API, just a straight scraping method directly into the website. But when it comes to like a large company, when it involves users, public users, precious data, for example, social media, the developer, the company would really suggest us to use the API because it is more secure. And then the API would have some very basic restriction, like you cannot send DDoS attack of any users or anything like that. So it always advisable for us to use API. So we for example, we have API like from Twitter, we have Twitter API. So what this API do, we can access the Twitter, we can interact with the tweets, we can extract tweets, we can extract pictures, we can extract profile description, profile details, followers, likes, and all of that. Okay. And then we also have Google Maps, we have YouTube, we have NASA API, Stripe. I don't know if you're using NASA API for what, but if you are, it's there for you to use. And then, but one problem about APIs is it's like it's always pay per use. So you need some APIs like Meta, the companies that owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and VR headset, right? So it has a subscription-based type of use. So for you to use a certain limits of its program, you need to pay. For example, for Twitter, when it comes to Twitter, if you want to extract like 5,000 tweets per month, you need to pay. You need to pay like $100 per month. So it's quite expensive. So it's not that ideal if you make like a long-term research. It's only ideal if you have a research grant that you can directly fund the project. Okay. All right. So because of the core of this presentation is using only HTML. So first we need to understand what is HTML. So Dr. AJ might explain it a brief earlier. So I'm going to expand a little bit. Okay. So HTML is a hypertext markup language. So HTML is a basic language for creating web content structure and appearance. It's the foundation of web pages used to organize information on the internet. No programming skills needed to grasp its fundamental. So take it this way. HTML is like a blueprint of the house. So when a blueprint of a house, we have doors, we have pillars, we have windows, we have stairs and all that. So HTML is like this is just an analogy how to visualize the HTML. Okay, that is a kind of structure to make a digital more appealing or visible into the web page. Okay, and one thing to note is that HTML is not a programming language because it doesn't involve any computational process, doesn't involve any mathematics. Like you cannot make automation using HTML, just use it to display. Just use a certain text, certain paragraphs, certain headlines for you to display in the website. Okay. All right. So the text. So using text, the HTML, it can be used to define the structure of a web page. Remember that I mentioned just now the structure of a house. So you can create headings, paragraphs, lists, images, links, and more. These elements, it can help you organize your content, make it easy for readers to understand. Okay. All right. So these are the structure. So the provided code is the example of an HTML document, which is used to structure and create content from which web pages. So let's break down what each part of this code does. So for example, on the left side, I have a set of codes, HTML codes, indicates HTML head body, H1P, UL body, HTML. So what are those exactly? So on the right side is the explanation of the text. So for example, we have head. So the head is like for only use for metadata and resources. And then we have title. It sets the title for the web page. For example, my website. Then we have the body. A body section contains the visible content, and then the H1 equals to headline 1. It's a top level heading for the page, and then P equals paragraph. It's contain a paragraph of a text. So basically, what Dr. AJ demonstrate before previously, Dr. AJ basically using the modules, he actually only extract the H1 and P only. So that is how you can get the data from any website, because any website, their structure is the same. I mean, the framework, the structure, the basic fundamental is always the same. It's just that many complex websites it use JavaScript to make animation, so it's going to get a little bit confusing. But this is where Python, it can help us to arrange, to help organize the data, to make the text more visible. Okay. All right. So okay, I'm going to show you a live demo of how you can use this HTML structure can be manipulated. Okay. So firstly, I'm going to open my going to open my website. This is my self-made websites. Can you guys see the screen? I hope you can see it. If you didn't, you can let me know. So I'm going to put a side-by-side screen. Okay, so remember, this is the basic framework of my websites. All right, so this is just I'm going to teach a little bit of HTML basics. So on the left side, you will see my website that I have constructed using HTML. I mean, it's a basic. It doesn't have any color, any animation to it. But this is the basic structure of any website you see on the internet. So what you can do is you can actually manipulate with the website. For example, if I want to change any details on the website, I would not want to change this detail. I need to look into the original HTML format and change it there. Okay. For example, welcome to my website. I want to change into welcome to this website. So if I refresh the page, we'll see the difference. Okay. All right. So let me refresh it. See? So it has changed. It has changed from welcome to my website into welcome to this website. For example, if I want to add more items, more bullet points, I can duplicate this item, and then you will see this. If I refresh the page, because I have changed the structure, it will appear as such. See? So this is the very basic of HTML, because it's important that I need to show this, because once you understand the basic mechanic of how HTML works, you can basically master a very in every data that you want to extract, because you have identified a very specific text. Then you can meddle with it, you can play with it, you can manipulate with the data, and that's how you can take the text and then put into the Python code and then extract the data that you want. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show this later, so don't worry. Okay. All right. Continue with my slide. Okay. But however, the reality is not as easy as you see, because the actual, although the structure is the same, but the true scenario of HTML is not always I would say happy or healthy, because it's always going to be burdensome or difficult to load. Ready? All right. So this is the I would say a common content in an HTML format. So just now, my HTML only has 16 lines. You can see this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until 16, right? So take a look at this one. It has 553 lines of information. So that's a lot of information to look at. And trust me, you will not need all of them. You only need a certain things. This is why Python plays its part. Okay, so don't be scared about seeing very vague numbers and colors and everything. So it's just information organized in a mathematical way. Okay. All right. So the question is what HTML has to do with web scraping, because all pages in at least in HTML5 in our current generation are written in HTML, because when you visit HTML and when you visit website, you actually see the result of the web pages in HTML code. Remember that I displayed just now my website analogy. So because a certain code, a certain structure is allowed for you to see in the actual web page. And web scraping, it involves reading HTML, because web scraping is like a reading of the content of web pages. But instead of reading it manually, like you look into the lines one by one using your naked eye, we use Python to automate this process so that your cognitive ability, your time will be reduced. Okay, and we use the program to automation to extract specific pieces of information. For example, like a product prices, pictures, text, paragraph, headlines, and everything. So because of that, if you want to do automation, you need to use Python. So there's no escaping. There's no you cannot run away from it. So this program usually written in a programming language like Python to request the web pages in a HTML code and then looks for and extract the data that you are interested with. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's okay. You can ask me question by the end of this presentation. Okay, and then HTML text and structure matter. So in web scraping, you need to understand the structure of the HTML code, because the data that you want is often enclosed a specific HTML text. For example, if you want to scrape product prices from an e-commerce website, you need to identify the HTML text that contain the price information. Okay, and then parse and extraction. And when web scraping tools like libraries like Beautiful Soup for Python, it helps to read and understand the HTML code. So this module, Beautiful Soup, it serves like your personal assistant. So that you won't be using your naked eye to look into the data. You use the Beautiful Soup modules to look into the data that you really need, so that you won't be wasting any cognitive abilities or time. Okay, so you can use these tools to locate and extract the data that you want, such as prices, product names, or any other information on the page. Okay, and then when I mention programming, I really mention a specific programming language that you need to use for these techniques. So in this case, we use Python. So Python is just one of the famous or like a popular programming language to make automation, to give instruction in order for you to make a repetitive task. Okay. All right, so these are the other programming language that you can learn. If you have the time, if you're really interested, you can use this. Some of the language you already have been familiar with, for example, like Java, C++, JavaScript, PHP, Swift, or R, even SQL. So most of the time, when it comes to automation, machine learning, programming language, we tend to use Python, JavaScript, PHP, and sometimes R. And then the other language is just mainly used for web development, making websites, making cool websites, like web with various animation. You can use some programming language to make Android application like a games, or even you want to develop a new social media apps, right? Okay, all right. So the pros and cons. So the pros, the first is customization. So it can tailor a data collection to a specific needs. For example, if you compare to, I would like to compare this with Epify, because I think it's a really good comparison. Compared with Epify, sometimes you don't have the luxury to make customization. Sometimes the tools, the function that that's already there is not that it's not really important to you because, for example, in Twitter, you want to look at tweets in a certain month, a certain week, a certain time format, like a year, months, or a specific trends, a specific season. So most of the time, this third-party software, you cannot do that. Only using pure programming language. And then fresh data. So you can access the latest information available on the internet. Because it can use automation, you can make the programming Python to monitor a certain program. For example, if you want to look into a tweets, for example, I want to look at tweets regarding with the hashtag of Save Palestine. So of course, every seconds, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, people are talking about Palestine, about using Save Palestine hashtag. So if you use it manually, you have to do it every day, every hour, every second, so that you can get the latest fresh data. So you can also do this, but without having to click every time. So you can use you can command the Python to make automation in a specific time format. Okay, and then flexibility. So you can control over data source and methods because it's scalable. You can change the amount of data that you need. For example, if you want to look 1,000 tweets, only 1,000, so you can limit that so that you won't be burdened with overload with things that you don't need. Okay, and then the disadvantage, ethical and legal concerns. Sometimes it can be you can trespass the data privacy and the copyright. But most of the time, when we sign in into any social media platform, when we want to develop a website, you have to read a certain terms and services, right? So all of these terms are included when they sign up for this website. So it's not going to be any concern if you take the data from any public website. But if you want to take any data from private tweets, private Instagram account, caption, so you need to have consent. That is a must. But if you want to look into only the public one, it's okay because the data is publicly accessible. So the user, the moderator is already aware of it. Okay, and then data quality and resource intensive. So sometimes it can be time consuming and require significant of computational resources. For example, if you apply data mining, so data mining is like a higher level of data scraping. So you need to have a very strong machine to work on. And then lastly, data quality. So sometimes the quality of scraped data may vary. So it requires extra attention to it. For example, when Dr. AJ he extract the data from the UPI websites, you will see that the data that have been extracted contains some of the information that was unnecessary. For example, the numbers, the metadata, some of the things that you might not need it. Okay. All right. So I will skip this one. Okay. So we will continue with the case study. So I'm going to provide a demonstration so you can see. I'm going to share a Google Colab for this. You can also use my code, my programming code for it. But I don't know if you can run it from the Google Colab. But I will monitor it from time to time. Okay. All right. So for this case study, I would like to apply web scraping from Shopee and Amazon. So the objective is to collect data from the web to build a text to a corpus. So in this case, I use Python libraries like Beautiful Soup or Scrappy, but I will not use Scrappy. I will only be using Beautiful Soup because it's quite recent. And then operation. So it's like I will extract a structured data from websites. Only look at the product names for Shopee, okay? And then I will extract the data. I will store the data in Excel format, okay? All right, so this is the end of my PowerPoint presentation. The next part is more on the application side, okay? All right, so you guys can see the screen, right? It's still visible, right? Okay, good. All right.
Yes.
So first thing first, we're going to look into Shopee. Okay, so because you can see I have many Python projects that I have been worked on. So for this case, I'm only looking to the Shopee one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to clear all output so that you can see every output is visible. All right. Okay, but before I even started with the programming language, we need to go into Shopee first. All right. Okay, so you need to go into your websites. First thing first, if you want to do it, if you want to follow me, you can. But if I'm going too fast, don't worry. Because Dr. AJ would like to suggest if we can make a more. If we have the luxury of time, we can set another workshop for us to delve into the very basic fundamentals of web scraping. Okay. All right. First thing first, I'm going to go into Shopee. Okay. In this case, I want to look a specific product names from the seller. Okay. In this case, I want to look iPhone. So I just search iPhone. Okay. Then the result will appears as such, right? So you no matter if you are using a phone and a tablet or even a laptop, the result is always be the same. So the next part is like I've mentioned, like I have explained it, the core of our presentation today is the HTML. So the next part is you need to inspect the page. So how you can do this? Depending on your web browser, you can either use Mozilla, Microsoft Edge, you can use Google Chrome or any web browser. I think it's the function is always there for you to use. You need to inspect the website. So for example, if I using Microsoft Edge, when I click right click, there's this particular function called inspect. So when I click inspect, there's this new interface appear at the right side of the page. So this is this is where you need to be a little bit creative, okay? And then basically what's the information on the right side is the HTML content of the website. So there's another way to do this. You can also right click. I will close this first. You can right click and then you can click view page source. All right. So this is also the same information that will appear in the inspect element interface. Okay. So you can choose which one do you want for you to observe the HTML content. But for in this demonstration, I will only be focusing on the inspect elements interface. Okay, and then you make sure you click this particular select an element. It's like a viewfinder. But I'm sure if you miss this step, I don't have the luxury of time to explain everything. I just show how that it can be done using basic HTML knowledge and programming. Okay. So perhaps if we have the luxury, we can dive further into this. Okay. So don't worry if you miss any steps. Okay. So first thing first, we need to use the viewfinder and we need to scan the website. So just make sure you scroll all the way to the bottom in order for the page to load so that all the HTML content will be appear. Okay. All right. So because my objective is I only look for the product headlines, product names. So I will not be looking anything else. I just straight away aim at this particular object. So when I aim at this object, it is a label, right? It has been shown to me like a vague tag. If I want to, I don't know, I can magnify it. But when we hover into this particular object, it's like a peer specific text that we can refer, right? So this is the tag that we would want to use to utilize in our programming language. Because if you notice closely, all of this product information use the same tag. See, for example, if you can see closely, I don't know if you can. If I hover all of the product headlines in this, it actually use the same text. Although it's the same text, it has a different content. So we are not going to extract the text. We are extracting the content, but we use the tag to guide our content. Okay, it's like a viewfinder. So once I have retrieved the text, I will need to download the HTML page. So I will save the page into my specific directory, and then I should be able to use the HTML to look the information that I need. So this is the next step. Okay. All right. So you guys can still see my interface, right? So this is the normal programming interface. It's called Visual Studio Code. It's a very mainstream IDE for you to use if you are into programming. So first thing first, remember if I'm using Beautiful Soup. So first thing first, I need to import the Beautiful Soup module first, and then I need to specify the HTML file. But before that, I think I should share this link with you so that you can view it on your own. Okay. So we share in the chat box. Okay, so the link is there, so you can see it on your own. You can view it. Okay, all right. So I need to specify the HTML document that I have downloaded just now. Remember, I saved the page and I return it into the specific directory. And then I need to I need to read the HTML file using Beautiful Soup. And then using the previous tag, I basically command the Python to look for this particular tag, the IE3A plus and BM plus 7UW. Oh, it's Azan right now, so I'm going to give a leeway for Azan. Is that okay, moderator?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let's just wait for a while for him to come back.
Hey, hello, hi, sorry. Okay, so sorry, you see interaction in the screen, so you might be wondering if I still talking now. Okay, so where were we just now? All right, so I have been explaining the basic like a sequence of programming structure, starting from importing the Beautiful Soup, and then all the way to read the HTML using the Beautiful Soup modules. Okay. All right. So once we have the HTML files, then we have located where the HTML file is in our local computer. We need to use the tag that we have identified from the Shopee websites, from the inspect element. Remember the one that I showed you just now? I will show it again. Okay. So again, this inspect element tools. You see this particular what I call this attacks, HTML tags. So we will use this to further search in the HTML to locate all the information contained within the text, within the text. Okay. All right. So once we do that, next we need to create a list using built-in Python program. The result that from the text in the set of lists, and then what basically Python do is it will extract the content of each element. So for each element, its HTML element is it can extract the contents of that particular element and then adds its own element list. I don't know if that makes sense. Then the next stage is to create a data frame. And then after all the relevant information has been collected in the element list, a pandas, remember a pandas library, a pandas modules, data frame, named df will be created. So this is how we can display our data. So I will run all of the programming code for you to see. Okay, so I'm going to run from the first one, second, third. Then you will see the result will appear at the interface. Okay. So all right, but before I click the results, before I show the results, so what should we expecting from the web page? So I think what should we be expecting is that the result should display in each of these product name of this website. So all the way from iPhone 14 until iPhone 15 Pro. See? So when I click when I show the results, it will appear like this. See? So this is how you can quickly extract the information that you need. Because this is only a data frame, like a visualization, so you cannot use this data. You can only view it. But if you want to use this data, you need to further expand your code and then provide a command for the Python to extract. I mean to convert to send the data into Microsoft Excel. So when I click this programming language, when I click this program interface, a new Microsoft Excel has been created. So when I click the Excel, I will show you the Excel. Show the Excel that I have extracted. Sorry, so we'll show this. Okay. All right, so this is data that we are looking for. The amount of products, contained in the specific websites. So we have 16, all the way from Apple 15 Pro until iPhone 6. It should be getting more because actually because when I download the page didn't have the time to load everything. So it actually load halfway there. So when you miss a certain step, it can mess with the data. So that's why I have mentioned earlier. So it can affect the quality of the data itself. Okay. So right, so you will see this data is quite structured. So the data will not contain any weird information. It only contain the product information. This is just an example from Shopee. And then I will show you another example from Amazon. Okay. All right, so I will show you the Amazon websites. Amazon, okay, so wait. Okay, so this is the source code for the Amazon, but it's not going to be matter because only the same. It's just I apply a very specific target for this time around. In this time around, I want to look into the title, the rating of the product, and the price. So how can I do that? So the same technique you can use. You need to go to Amazon. Which Amazon you can also use that. You can if either you can use Singapore domain or the global domain one. It's up to you. Okay. So you can look a certain product. For example, in this case, I want to look a certain product what appears when I look for MacBook. So I click MacBook. So the Amazon give me the results. Okay. All right. So I don't know how many results this. So the same concept, the same technique that I do is I inspect the element, I inspect the websites. Sorry, yeah, is this. And then I need to use the viewfinder to look for the tag of the headlines, and as well as the stars, as well as the price. And then I use all the tags, and then I include in my Python programming interface. So same concept, I use the Beautiful Soup modules or libraries. I apply the Beautiful Soup, and then I command the Python to look for a certain text that I want to look for. For example, this tag contains the information of title, rating, and the price. So I think this will do the trick. So I will clear this output first so that you will see. So when I click run, when I click display, so the result will appear like this. So like I mentioned earlier, a pandas module, it can help you display the data, but it cannot be used yet. You need to send the data into a specific file format. For in this case, I'm going to send the data in the Excel format. So when I click Excel, a new file has been created. So when I look for the data, it will appear like this, Excel format. See, the data that I have scraped contain a title, rating, about the price. So it's all there. All right. So we have 16. We have 16 lines of product because this is only page 1. If you want to look into page 2, you need to click page 2, and then you need to load all the products again. You need to repeat the process. Okay. So this will depend on your objective. If you want to look for I don't know, 1,000, so you need to know how many results appear with the same search keyword. For example, when I use the MacBook search term, Amazon give me 360 results, all the way from page 1 until page 20. So in theory, you need to load each of these websites, all the way from page 1 to page 20. Then you need to download it manually. Oh, but then some would say, oh, this is not this is also tedious work to do because I have to download it. I have to download it every time when I click a new page. But then this is also time you can, it's also time efficient because in a normal use case you will use like this. Okay, you will all people tend to apply this web scraping like a text extraction data using this method. So for example, if I create a new sheet, you will name your data like title, ratings, and then price. So in normal use case, you will, I don't know, you need to highlight, you need to highlight the text, and then you need to copy the text into your own data.
Amizan. Is my end, or is everybody having the same problem?
Oh, it's the same problem.
Okay.
I think his internet collapsed.
Okay. Maybe let's give him some time to resolve.
Okay.
He said he lost his connection. So let's just wait for him to come back. In the meantime, if
Okay.
you have any questions to ask, you can already type, or hopefully you can follow Amizan's talk on the programming part. Is Dr. AJ still here?
Yes, ada.
Because Amizan is at the college, right?
Yeah.
So do you have anything to say, Dr. AJ, in the meantime, for Amizan's
Right.
talk?
I can say that what Amizan did, even though some of us may see that it's more of like entrepreneurship, like doing using web business, collecting data for entrepreneurs, something like that. But the idea behind that is great, like we can have that what we call skill that Amizan show us to actually script the data that is relevant to us to do the language research actually.
Yes.
So what Amizan showed to us just now is it's a capability that I wish everyone always have.
That's true.
We
All right,
do
Amizan's back.
Okay.
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 I'm back. Sorry for the. Thank you, AJ, for Thank you, Doctor, for replacing me. I don't know, the internet connection suddenly went away. So I don't know why. But it's okay. I can
Welcome
continue.
back.
Okay, thank you. So sorry for that. Uh,
It's okay.
Dr. Anis, I think you need to appoint me as co-host again so that I can share the screen.
Okay. Give me a second. Make co-host. Okay, done.
Okay, where was I just now? Oh no. All right. Okay, same interface like last time or different? Same, right? Is it
Yes.
visible?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, same.
so I recap again. So the normal use case that we copy manually into our own database. So in this manner, it's more time efficient and less I would say less repetitive. And it is also more secure because we didn't mess with the safety protocol from the Amazon websites. And then probably last example for today's demonstration. So because the two websites that I have shown is just a normal internet, like a large company like Shopee and Amazon. How about we take a look at the, I would say local company, local websites. So I'm going to look into the websites of Tudung Raffle. If you have heard about it, the brand, a local brand. So I'm going to load my code first. Generic website. Okay, so this is the source code that I have constructed. So the same method, you go with the website that you want to scrape. Wait, I need to close this first. Okay, I will go for Tudung Raffle websites. Okay, for example, I want to extract the title of each of their product. So we have Hope, in Biopsy, Berry, SH. We want to extract all of these product title in this page one. So same concept, same method. We use the inspect tools with the viewfinder function. Then we hover in this particular title object, and then we can see the tag. So the tag called product block title. So in theory, all of these product headlines displayed in this website are using the same tags. So once we get only one tag, we can, in theory, we can get all of the product content in the same tags. Okay, so I will save the websites, HTML websites in my local laptop, local computer, and then I will apply all of this code, and then the result will appear like this. Will be appearing like this. So using pandas, we can see the data in a structured manner, and then in the end, what I want to do is I want to display the data in Excel format. So same concept. I'm going to the directory of the websites, the downloaded data, scrape data. Yeah, website Tudung Raffle. See, it's already automated. All the things that you want, it will appear here. Okay, so of course you can add more. If you have the experience in program, if you have the mechanics, if you can use a Python programming language, you can actually automate this process. You can make the process run in a repetitive kind of manner. For example, I can command the Python. I can ask the Python, okay, Python, you need to download each of this page and then save them as HTML. And then I will use Python again. Okay, Python, you need to look for this particular product title and then look into all of the HTML that you have downloaded. and then the result will be much more large than this. Okay. All right. So I think this is just a demonstration how to apply it on an e-commerce website. But I also have an example how you can use it use on in the news websites. So I'm going to use my source code called, is it Politics Scrapper? I couldn't find my, wait. Oh, I think I might have deleted it. But it's fine. But I can show it to you in another serial of webinar. Okay, so I think that will be the last demonstration. But Dr. Anis, but you just now when you introduced me, you would like to address the NLP function as well, right?
NLP function. Do you want to do that?
I don't know. Does the audience want to see the basic of NLP function? If they want to further their analysis?
There's still time, a little bit of like around 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. I will take some 10 minutes to show the analysis method. Okay, so all right, so I will continue a little bit in demonstrating how you can use natural language processing using Malaya libraries. So all right, so let's just assume when you have scraped the data, you want to analyze the data using a very specific corpus like a corpus technique. You can make a sentiment analysis, you can make a semantic prosody, you can make a part of speech tagging. So this is like a further analysis of that. All right. Okay, so this is just a source code of how you can elevate your programming, your NLP, your corpus analysis in a very structured manner. So for example, if I want to apply kesalahan tata bahasa, so this particular model, particular library called Malaya, it can detect kesalahan tata bahasa in bahasa Melayu. So this is just a sneak peek preview. If you are really interested in this, I think if you are really interested, we can have another serial webinar, just only be focusing on NLP techniques. So because I have a little bit of time, I want to demonstrate this how you can also use Python. Wait. How you can use Python to make analysis of correcting grammar mistakes. And then the most special part is that we can use it in a Malay language. So that's how powerful it is using Python. And it will take some time to load because it's a large language model. Okay, it's taking too long. See, when I told you a certain programming task, it requires a very resourceful machine. This is the testimony. Because for me to run this program, I need to have a very strong machine, and I just have a very internet disruption just now. So I think it will be affected much further. Okay, so all right. So we are using this particular model called Malaya, and it can detect kesalahan tata bahasa. So for example, I import the data from the Tudung Raffle website just now, and I want to further analyze it. I want to further analyze it using NLP techniques. So in this case, I only be looking on the kesalahan tata bahasa. So when I look the model, it gives me the every description of this what I call code. For example, if the result appear a certain codes, you need to refer for this description. For example, if the results appear a code number 4 or a code number I will take example on number 12. So if the code says, oh, it's the error number 12. So it should be, in theory, the sentence contain kesalahan ayat pasif. Okay, so let's try. So I'm going to load the model. It's taking some time. I apologize on that. Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to test this particular model using this word, using these sentences untuk makluman semua bilik rawatan sudah beroperasi. So pelajar yang memerlukan rawat boleh datang ke bilik rawatan. So we are linguists, so we can already tell this particular sentence contain an error, right? So a specific error like the word memerlukan rawat. So it should be rawatan, right? So when I click on this sentence, when I run it, I want to test whether the kesalahan tata bahasa really predict the mistake. I want to know which error code that it appears. See, you really need to have a very strong machine to run a certain programming task and a good internet connection. It's taking too long. It's already 1 minute. Okay lah, I think I will not waste any more. Yeah, see? So the result appears with a specific code. So you can use this code. For example, untuk, you can refer the word untuk, it appears the number 2. So you can refer back. So number 2 equals to tiada kesalahan. So I think so untuk contain, I think it has no grammatical correction. Then kemudahan number 17. So let's see number 17. Penggunaan kata yang tidak tepat. Is it? And then we look at the word telah, memerlukan. And then we can further analyze it into each of these very specific function in the Malaya package. So I guess that's just for my presentation for today. So if you want to look into how you can use like a conversion numbers to word, we have also numbers to word, and then we can make pre-processing, like we can remove symbols, we can remove a specific hashtag. We can also use these particular modules in Malaya. Then we have segmentation to separate a specific sentence, a specific phrase in a sentence. And then we can also use spelling correction. It can predict spelling correction in Malay and then correct it in in a correction manner. And then we can also use tokenizer. Then true case. So true case is self-explanatory. Like it changed the for example, the word Perdana Menteri should be in a kata nama khas, in a capitalized word. So using this particular model in Malaya, it can change the word into a more corrected manner using true case. So I think that's just for my presentation today. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Amizan, for your insightful talk. All right, I am benefited as well from what you have already shared. We have a question here. You put in the instruction to detect the ungrammatical word.
Okay, so the question is, did I put to detect the ungrammatical word? Yes, I did put the instruction. For example, this particular instruction, the model greedy decoder. So basically, what this model does is it actually calls a very huge large language model, similar like ChatGPT, to make prediction of the ungrammatical word. So if that's answering your question.
Okay, all right, okay, that answered the question. There's another question. You focus more on data collection or analysis part for the talk?
Okay, yeah, for today's demonstration, I only focus on the data collection part. But I only demonstrated a little bit of the data analysis part, just to provide a sneak peek, because I know some of you have made a dissertation about a corpus, so I think it will be a benefit for the specific audience. So if you want to know further about how I use a specific programming language to make a data analysis part, we can arrange a new webinar on that or a workshop.
And you can.
You can.
Is there any more? One last question, perhaps, before we wrap up for the weekend.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, Lex.
Right. Good afternoon. So it's not really a technical question. It's more of a philosophical question. So I am curious, for web scraping, is there a margin for error? Because go with me on this journey. Like in the future, if this method is very popular and it's quite convenient to replicate, do you foresee the need for like a margin of error for, let's say, if I replicate someone's data collection method, web scraping method, and the results differ slightly?
The margin error.
Yeah,
So the question is whether its data can be replicated. Is that it?
No. If we
Mm.
replicate, do we need something like a margin of error? Like, is it like an acceptable margin of error? Let's say next time if I replicate and I turn up different results, like maybe 0.5% or 1% difference, like do you think it's necessary to have like a margin of error, like an acceptable margin, if the results should be different?
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand now. All right. So, okay, for example, if you are extracting a result from a Shopee or any newspaper, and then somehow the original content has been changed because it can be edited, right? It can be edited by the original moderator. And then I think from a researcher perspective, from academician, I mean, also a student, then I'm also understanding the ethical concern of how we can be transparent about the way we collect our data. I think the margin of error is always there. For example, if I explained this myself because I collected data from Instagram caption from these entrepreneurs. So I don't know whether at this current moment those original data is there anymore. It might be already deleted. So I think it should be noted that in every programming in every, I would say, programming instruction that we apply, we need to put a specific timestamp where did we actually where and when and how we actually collect the data.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Okay.
we have two more questions. Do you have time to answer the questions?
Yeah. Okay.
What level of programming skills do we need to conduct such work? The question is for both presenters. Maybe Dr. AJ would want to answer the question too.
Yeah, Dr. AJ, you can answer this.
Okay. All right. So to me, just like I told you before, like there are certain components in doing scraping that we need to know, such as knowledge of HTML and so on and so forth. I think given the what we call it tools that we have out there in learning ourselves to do programming, there's no problem anymore. So we can learn. Yeah, you can learn. So what we have shown to you just now, those are the basic things. Like you don't need you just need a few hours and that's it. You will get the skill that you need to push on and doing your programming. Okay, I think Amizan is the best, what we call it, example of this. You know, without any technicalities, you know, training, but he managed to catch up with the technology. Right? Okay, Amizan, back to you.
Yeah, Doctor, I think that's a very very valid answer, because we are speaking from a linguist perspective. Because me myself, we have no background. I mean, I did not join any. I mean, I did join a very programming workshop and everything, but at the end of the day, it only took me like a few days for me just to get the hang of the basic fundamentals. So I think it's doable for everybody if you are really interested in this field.
Okay.
Last question, right?
Question. Do we trust this without double checking every link? How sure can we be that our data is clean? Oh, okay, Amizan.
Okay, all right. So do we trust this without double checking every link? How can we sure that our data is clean? Okay, so it's a two question in the statement. Firstly, do we trust this without double checking every link? That's why this method is safe, because this method only apply the parsing the HTML. We did not apply any crawler or bot, you know, sending anonymous bot to any websites. We actually look into the website, and then at the center we double check if all these respective information that we want appear, like depend on your in our objective, and then we download the page, and then we scan the page, and then we extract the data into a structured manner. So I think that answer question number one. So it can be trusted, it's safe. So the question number two is, the next question is, how sure can we be that our data is clean? If I'm going to be honest, the data is never going to be clean. Most of the time it's going to contain very vague symbols, vague numbers, vague like a very weird kind of phrase. Very weird. It's not going to be the way that they want. But we have tools. We have tools, other NLP tools, like I have displayed this in my share screen. These pre-processing modules, it can be used specifically to clean data. For example, if you want to extract tweets from Twitter, a specific tweets, for example, like Joe Biden. So these people must be tweeting with emojis. We have URL. We have like a very vague symbols. So we can use this tool to clean our data. So the basic first step, the raw data that we always get, will always never going to be clean. We need to clean. We need to take it up to a next level, because 90% of the work in analyzing corpus, in making making our work, 90% of it comes from the pre-processing stage, removing the unnecessary things.
All right. Okay. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much, Amizan. Thank you very much, Dr. AJ, for sharing with us today. I hope all of you enjoyed the session. Perhaps we can also arrange another workshop or maybe crash course for dummy for extracting the data, because even though Amizan, I know Amizan went as basic as he could, but I believe there are still people who couldn't understand it.
Yes.
So if you're interested, maybe you can give, I'm going to share the feedback link with the certificate link. Maybe you can give some feedbacks if you're interested to join next session. All right, should we take a quick photo just for the documentation? Can you turn on your camera so that we can... Assalamualaikum, Dr. Haslina. How are you doing? So we can see your face.
Waalaikumsalam, how are you? Good to be back.
Okay, can you turn on all of your cameras so that we can take a quick screenshot of the photo? Dr. AJ?
Okay.
No, I can see few people that familiar faces. Sorry. Thank you for attending. Okay, let me take a quick screenshot. We have quite a number of participants today. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for your time. It exceeded the time slightly. All right, I took the first one. Another one. All right, 1, 2, smile for the camera. All right, okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much to the speakers. I hope you have had a great time.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget
the organizer and audience.
Okay, we can engage in WhatsApp group as well. Okay, all the best. Take care, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Have a good day. I'm going to stop recording now.